Fambul them una ado. This na Psycho John Barry, the canto una this net here from London. This na then and now. Today, as we've been promised una see the flyers them go right around the world. We promise una say we get for can discuss about the APC press release. Una know say the saga and event they unfold na Sierra Leone, and then the APC issue is strong worded press release yesterday, but we get for come to now, we get for can discuss me and me, the CEO of then and now, when a Prince Crewman, he get for come in and out, we get for discuss on the issues. But fumble them before we go again. I want for welcome una all, and I want also for ask una all for share the links and share them to as many people as una can. Una share the links, but stay connected. This is then and now. Yeah, family them again. I want for welcome una all again. Na the then and now program. This na Psycho John Barry live from London. Again, like we be not tell una say we get for bring. We'll talk about the APC press release with the issue. Yesterday, as una all know, the draw way they happen. We been don't come the previous day. We don't come talk to una about the results where the APC they not accept. They say they not accept the results, and then still stand by what they say. And we see now yesterday with them, because from where they announced the result, the presidential result, and we see APC being very quiet. But yesterday they decide for come out, and they came out very strongly in the press release, and one then tell the public and Sierra Leoneans then say they no accept the result, and they make so many statements, they make so many, they take so many, they make them position clear, say on no account the APC is going to be part of any governance like structure. For example, what in them they try for say, then no mix, they no get for the council, they no go take part on council business, they no get for take part on anything, as long as the issue of results, they say them believe say the elections was rigged in favor of the SLPP, so they say therefore they no go take part. But we still they continue the program, but we dey wait for Prince Crewman, who believe say he go join me shortly, but we dey continue with the program. uh, some of the issues them wey the APC raise, like then talk about, they say the violence will be happen first from during the campaign time, and say about again somebody, one mommy being die, and some people then die at the APC office where one guy and one mommy been died there, and then will be hearing about violence, and then promise then supporters then say then get for go all out, then go fight for justice, then go make sure that then people then get justice. So then promise in that then press release day. And but the most important thing, then say they not accept this result, and they not then call for the for well, they say make they rerun the elections in 6 months time. They want for they rerun the elections, and they make other demands like asking for Kane, the ECSL boss, for make he resign, and in commissioner then they say because they are not competent. So they make several demands, then ask for the security sector, but we get for count details into that. We get for look into the press release, and then we can discuss them. But what we want for can talk today, like okay, we'll discuss those issues where they raised na the press release. At the same time, we get for, well, we go ask again, waiting now the possible, we do check now the possible reaction from the SLPP, the waiting the SLPP, waiting una feel say like the SLPP get for say. So we get for discuss that as well. Waiting the SLPP get for do regarding that. So we get for discuss all them thing in there. But fumble them before that, I dey still ask una for share the links, to as many people as una can. Me sef dey share am as we dey speak, so una dey see. So I dey ask una all for share. We need for share so that we get boku people that we dey watch we. Make the program go far and wide. So that again we get for widely people and contribute the comment them. We the interactive session, even though una the deal na the comment box, una go dey do una comment them. So again, like the latest news, we don't see then don't begin for okay, Kone don't announce again the result. We see say like Freeton, uh, well, then say Akisoya win with I think 51%, and then Gento loss. Again, we don't see them don't announce so many, almost all the voting self. They don't announce everything. We see how the result go, and we see whether the SLPP they make inroads like places like Puloko and other places, and then we see we see the result now, like Falaba district, for example. We see the APC get 2 seats and the SLPP get 2 seats. And then we see some, well, about the council na Falaba district. Uh, Boku announcement then don't take place this event here. And of course, like I tell una, we don't get the press release yesterday with the APC issues, where they issue and say, well, they not get for take part into this whole elections, yeah. In the governance system. Una sorry because they try for share the links now that make, but una just give me 1 or so minutes. I dey make a done for do this here, but then we just dey can to the business proper. Fumble them, like una all know wetin happen from the beginning of, like, this campaign. Before campaign, una know the draw wey dey come, wey been dey between the ruling party, that is the SLPP, and the main opposition party. So we been dey talk about issues. We don host na a lot of APC senior political party members. We don interview again lot of opposition members wey no to APC again, like Mr. Charles Francis Magai, Udon, Femi Claudius Cole, and other stakeholders them in our country. We discuss on the elections, but we thank God the elections passed peacefully. But then issues them happen uh, regarding the elections. Of course, the day of the elections it passed on peacefully. Fet not happen. We see some voting self, some chaotic situation in western area and other places, but at least them be able for contain them, and then we see them conduct the elections. But later now, where result them begin come out, we hear some kind, well, dissatisfactions, and especially when they announce the 40%, the around the 60%, sorry, the 60%. We see now we the opposition, All People Congress Party, then begin raise issues, then say, well, the whole thing like doubtful, not transparent. Again, then later we see the EU, the international observers, then say if there is same thing about, then they talk about transparency, then say the thing look doubtful because transparency no been there, especially na the regional tally centers. So the APC been the raise concern, for example, say like Puloko and then uh, Makeni Bombali district. So now wetin are the who side the problem start? Who side the problem? Who side the doubt dey? For example, then say now na the let's say the polling stations then at the various we not get constituency na the various district, but we get polling stations then. Now when after voting, they don't do everything, they don't put the other RRF forms, then at the place beside the polling stations, beside them vote, then for take that result, they go with them na the district level. Now they now then get for then for don't verify and do everything. Then before now, the person we they in charge of the I think presiding officer or something for take them then that result they back, then go na the regional. But now wetin dem do, dem no like dem say issues dem bin dey na the district because dem no gree for let dem verify and check na the district level. Instead wetin dem do, from the polling stations dem just gather everything, from there direct dem go na the regional center. But now who side the problem dey now, dem say dey again, dem bin suppose for verify and see again how, for example, then the input then results here. So now, like for example, in Bombali district, then we say now for by district for call and enter the result of the various polling stations then at the district. So by district. So but now then say them been get about political parties dem bin get representative dey, but now wetin dem say now dem know some of the result, like especially the presidential result, dem say dem no be even the commissioners, and then dem no verify everything, dem no sign, dem just yeri say dem don announce the result. So issues dem happen na Puloko, the same thing happen back na Bombali. So na dey the doubt dey, and you will see the EU observers them themselves create their own doubt. Then talk about they will go see back later new whether the national elections watch wey dem boss, I think Marcela Samba will understand say in fact he don left the country yesterday because they say himself bin dey receive some death threat. So he don't decide if you why you call her run away or not. Because at some point we'll be seeing na social media, they say, well, police then not be one for lay left, but later we don't know wetin happen, diplomatic or something don't happen, where then he ended up for left the country. So all that thing in there, but we don't see again. Of course, we see the president of the wife of the president at Turkey. He been congratulate President Madabio, and then thing in the. But yesterday night we well, Boku people then be shocked for see a very strong worded press release from the All People Congress Party. They make it clear, say then no get for take part in this and anything on this by in the governance of the country under this current system, because they say as far as they are concerned, na rig corner rig the elections in favor of the SLPP. So they say they not get for take part, then not get for be a party to any governance structures. So from then councillors, them like they not go be part of the council, they not get for the part of the parliament. So even the result we then announced today, they are not going to be a party to it. So then talk down, they make them clear, and they make demands them. For example, now what like let's just highlight some of the thing the way they make. One, they say the APC unequivocally reject the announced result of the recently concluded multi-tier elections in Sierra Leone, given the glaring irregularities and violation of established electoral procedures. So they say clearly they not get any doubt, they reject, they clearly reject the result we then announce. They say because of clear the clear irregularities and the violation of the laws, the electoral laws. So they say based on that, they know because of the violations of the electoral laws and the irregularities, then they not recognize the results. So meaning they not recognize President Madabio as president. They not recognize him because the process. Okay, so then say two back say the APC declares its non-participation in any level of governance. So then say they know they participate in any level of governance. For example, they say now the legislature, like the parliament, like I've been telling you earlier, and the local councils, like the local councils, they say they know they take part. They say the results have already been tampered with to give the SLPP an unjust majority at all levels. So what they say, because with CTD again, the result wey dem call the APC get 54 about 50 something seat na parliament, while the SLPP get about 80 something. So this time the APC be dey say na year in number 2 wey dem make dem the following position. Dem say dem no dey be party to this because dem say the result already dem don tamper with am for give SLPP an advantage, for give dem majority na both councils and parliament. So and today we see wey dem announce the result, well dem say na SLPP na dem get majority na parliament, now dem don get majority and dem win boku boku wetin sef dem then sit. Number 3, now they say then ask for the resignation. This is very important. The SLPP, people in the call me, are they on air? But then ask, they make some demands. So I get for can read for una back the demands them way they make. So the APC also say, for example, number 3, they say we demand the resignation of Mr. Mohamed Kone and all the other commissioners of the ECSL based on demonstrated bias and failure to conduct their duties impartially. So now then say again, then they ask, then they demand for make Kone and all the commissioners them of the ECSL, then say for make they resign. They say because they're not neutral, then them bias in their duties. So the APC that's one of them voting self then demand than the yesterday. And then number 4, they say we insist on a rerun of the elections within 6 months to be overseen by credible individuals and institutions who will ensure a fair and transparent process. So una do yeri back then say, well, they want for make them rerun the elections, meaning make them do the elections back within 6 months. Then say, and then that elections the way then they want for make the rerun, that election dey for be overseen, so that like people then they say credible individuals and institutions who will ensure a fair. And so but now this time round they not tell we say na international bodies for come, but then just say credible individuals. So we don't know now then credible individuals here whether then they salon or now other credible individuals from which part of the world or which part of Sierra Leone or how. So, but this na the demand again where they make, where they part of the press release yesterday. That is number 4. And 5, they say we demand the resignation of the following. They say the one lady, the following people resign. 1, they say Fayase Ludan and the Inspector General of Police. They say the one for make Dande resign. And they say Major General Patrick Lavahun. that the chief of defense staff dem say himself for resign, and dem say Abdullahi Conte, the national security coordinator, and dem say Francis Languba Kaile, and that na the chief of staff of the office of the ONS, and dem say Desmond Babatunde Edwards, the chief justice. Now they say these individuals have shown a clear disregard for their constitutional duties and have instead aligned themselves with the undemocratic aspiration of Julius Maada Bio. So them people here were called, so they say they were back for resign. And they say make them resign, then base them argument say because they don't show a clear, they not respect then duties where the constitution give them, and then say they don't align themselves, that they don't all deal with, or they don't deal in favor of, according to what they say, the undemocratic aspirations of Julius Maada Bio. So again, this now waiting the APC right now in press release. That is number 5. Number 6, they say we will engage our international development partners to advocate for the imposition of travel bans on key individuals who have played instrumental roles in stealing the mandate of the Sierra Leone people. So then say again, then they engage, then they talk with, then they discuss, then engage with the international partners for call for these international partners, or make them make them put a travel ban on key individuals like some people there, so that what they mean, so they no go give visa to somebody like them people there we I get for can call for go like America or maybe can Europe or other side, then say then go engage with the development partners for make them do that, because they see like something like we call it targeted sanction or something, like they say okay, like America for example or Europe will tell you say okay, we no want see so person, we no dey give una visa for Canada, or we no dey allow una for Canada or country. So wetin the APC dey say na dem press release say dem get for engage the international development partners, then for advocate for let dem put sanction, travel ban, let dem ban dem key people here. So whether dem na dem people here we dem want for make dem wey dem want for make dem give a travel ban, wey dem no for allow for travel. So dem say key individuals who have played instrumental roles in stealing the mandate of people. You say them people here, dem play a role, according to the APC, dem steal, dem thief the mandate of the people. So like again, all this go to the elections. Say the elections where they say na President Bio win, na still dem steal am. Not to him win, na the mandate, the people dem mandate na im dem take, dem give other person wey na Maada Bio wey, according to them, not to him win. So now, so yeah, in addition to those listed in point 5, we urge, so now then then include them where then all way then the point now the list of point 5, that the one they were don't call gist now. So now they say for add them wire back on top of that list they will just call now point 5. So now we say we urge the inclusion, they say let them include the illegitimate president Julius Maada Bio. The press release describe him as an illegitimate president. That na the APC press release. Now they read for una so, and then they call his name Julius Maada Bio, and then say the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperations, David Francis, the Chief Minister, Jacob Dusu Safa, the Deputy Minister of Justice, Umaru Napoleon Kuruma, the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, David Moina Senge, and the Press Secretary, Keke Thomas Sandi, and the Minister of Information, Mohamed Rahman Soare, the Minister of Internal Affairs, David Pandanoa, and his Deputy, Lai Lawrence Lima, and the First Lady, Mrs. Fatima Bio, then the Deputy Speaker, Singapore Solomon Thomas, and Dr. Prince Alex Harding. Now, they were then say, make them add na the list for the travel ban. Okay, now the finally waiting then say na the press release, they say we call on all mini Sierra Leoneans home and abroad to play their part in resisting tyranny and fight for the restoration of democracy, civility, and good governance in Sierra Leone. So Nado Yeri then said they call all Sierra Leoneans home and abroad for fight. They say for resist tyranny, and then they say for the fight for restoration. They say make well Sierra Leoneans and fight for restored democracy. So this na the issues. So una don hear voting. This not to then and now write this press release. This press release dey na the public domain. Then issue am yesterday net. Lot of people like been shocked for see that kind of, but APC been say wetin make them been quiet, wetin make all along they not been from where they announce the results, they not been make any statement. Again, this day na dem press release, they say because they mean they reflect. They mean they reflect on wetin don dey happen for the past days. So then talk, then they reflect. So now then get meeting, then discuss among themselves, and then come out with this very, very strong worded press release. So now we don't see, despite of this press release where they released yesterday. Today we see Mohammed Kone, when at the ECSL boss, he don't announce the results for the council, and then we see for members of parliament. He don't sorry, he don't announce the results then day. Okay. Now we come again to for ask questions. So is the APC, are they going to like sustain then get for really, really how serious is the APC for follow waiting then say so to the latter? Waiting at the possibility, or maybe then get for back off and go back to parliament and decide for take part. If they not take part, waiting will be the ramifications for our democracy. So these are the questions. So like for democracy, because now let's say for example, then go ahead, then do waiting, then say then they do. Waiting will be the ramification for democracy. So meaning we get for see only like SLPP in a parliament. So we not watch it, like we don't know how NGC perform. We not to follow Dandy, we don't know. But again, even if NGC dey in a parliament, so of course then SLPP dey in alliance. So if not then no more SLPP dey in a parliament, so how that parliament they go look like? How that parliament they go look like? So these are very, very serious issues. Some people in the play and down, but now a very serious issues where I think the stakeholders they need for rethink and know what for do about it. Okay, other issue also being calm. We see again will be this try for say okay, what will be the possible reactions, or what in the SLPP go do when they see this press release. So we see some people they talk about okay, no, well, lady APC go court. So some questions then come now again. But I want to remind you now again, before the elections they start, we international observers then been go engage the judiciary, the chief justice. The chief justice been say, well, then get already courts, electoral courts, where they na the district them, where them believe say they expedite cases. So cases were related to elections. But again, so many people and they ask, so okay, let's say now then talk to APC. So you know what, you guys, una need for go to parliament, una go this now, una deserve the country, then thing and day. But now at the same time, una go challenge the presidential results na court. So some critical minds ask, so wetin are the chances for APC? Because we dey see some people in the talk say no, APC not even get data. So now a lot of people in the ask APC say, okay, APC, who's our data dey? So if una say they rig, how una get evidence for show say SLPP the rig, ECSA rig in favor of SLPP? Whoa, una data. Some man they even say the APC not get a national tally center, so therefore they no go able for produce any data. But we see again, we see again one young APC guy, and then the one the way the Falaba district, we see where them produce, then tally, then your result, and then get a data. Okay, so but now but the big question is whether APC as a political party, some man they doubt una say una no get data, una no get the what the way. Some man they even ask for na RRF forms. Okay, so una been get a tally center where una for present, because some man, well, again, arguably some APC then go say no, well, even if we get her, not on social media we can present her. But then the APC then they argue say, well, the presidential voting elections result we then announce, transparent, free, fair. So we will be know we hear wetin then talk like na Puloko, they not verify, they not certify the result, but then just announce. So but the law say them for certify. The law say them for certify all the results. So if that be the case, then the big question go to the Electoral Commission. If yes, they not wait until the commissioners now either the Northwest and now the North, like Bombali and so Puloko, they not certify the results them. So they ask the question why una for announce results why they not certify. So these are the questions. These are the things. Again, so many doubts. They, of course, some man like then they come, then attack you, even if you ask question, saying you did against this or you did against that. But these are the issues what we need for talk about. We all get, as Sierra Leoneans, we all get right for talk about Salon issues. We all get right for talk about Sierra Leone issues them, because one thing, anything happen there, whether na good or bad, we all the feel am, and then it affect to all, not to one person, not to one tribe. So Salon, it belongs to we all, whether una dey in power, whether they in power, or whether they in opposition, or whosoever. So we all get right for equally talk about, discuss issues. But what me don't see for the past years, these are the talker from APC time. I begin hearing this from APC, the tell where APC been in a power. When you talk something, you be critical on government, either policies or certain actions. They call they're not patriotic, they're not like this country. Then they pretend as if them be like the country past all man. So the same thing they happen again with the current system, the SLPP there. When somebody disagree with them small, then begin make like say you na alien, or like say you not supposed for talk, like na den no more, like the country at heart. This is wrong. Not to so for the we for learn diversity very important in society. People then forget different opinion. You will not need for attack each other because of we get different opinions. So now, for example, that's why now parliament they need different political opinions. Now it make you get opposition, you get ruling parties. Yeah, you get ruling party, you get opposition members. If again, I think the last parliament we been get C4C, we get NGC, we get APC as opposition, then we get SLPP, the ruling party. You get diverse views. You understand? So if that una thinking, una way left for go attack somebody because the person disagree with una government, with government decisions or policies, if una feel say na that una only idea, now it's no more important for run the country, we not forget various political parties in the parliament. We not forget that. So what you make we get parliament, now forget various views, diverse views, so that all man they come with in your knowledge, in your from your own perspective. So then debate, then come together. Then debate, then come together. But una feel say now una no more, now una idea, una they make like say una no more get sense any other person a full man because the person no agree with what you una want, or the person no like in idea no sync with una own. This is wrong. Not to so for day, not to so the country for day, my brothers and sisters. So salon now all young. We all want for make salon go before. Some people then get some kind attitude. Where you not disagree with this person, you go out for no. I'll not go disagree with somebody because you disagree with the person. I not go take a stance in a certain manner because of you. No, I have my own brain. I analyze for myself, then I take decision based on the facts. So we get for now the APC don't say this. Now let's go to the court now. People in they ask, okay, like me so today I ask the questions. I say, okay, let's say APC go court. How many years or how many months it go take for make then for assign the case to judges for look into the matter and then for decide how many years it take? 2 years, 3 years, 1 month, 2 months. But clear. For example, like again we see where some draw dropping they happen. We see where they announce the president. I think we'll be not talk about that. They get the constitution allows say where they pronounce you as a winner, then not for waste time, then for go swear you in. Where then don't sworn in the president finish. So now you watch again. Una watch with una common sense. Right? Now, when they don't sworn in the president, it don't be already commander in chief, and then now they do all thing, even the chief justice now, maybe where they preside over them thing and they now in appoint them. So, what are the chances for fairly look into the issues them day? I not deny again some like normal again, you know, go blame nobody. All man they defend your own voting self, all man they talk. So man they say, but changes don't happen at the judiciary. I say, yes, you are correct. Changes don't happen. Changes don't happen. You not correct. So but now we not tell we now, okay, what you not feel say how many years it could take for make them decide on them cases and day. What are the chances? Maybe APC get evidence or they not get for sure say rigging take place. The result no voting safe, not to a valid one, a rigged one. So maybe they get, maybe they not get. But again, it come back because I see where JFK, former Attorney General, when Joseph Kamara, they talk about like the trust. Now you find out say, I think say some a bit of split. Some people ending at the APC, we want for make them go court. Others no one for let them go court. But now let's say they go court. The case go take 3 years. So 3 years inside 5 years. What in the benefit? And then well, we're not gonna by the past, waiting at the chances for let them succeed. Waiting at the chances for making them succeed. So these are the issues. So you go say, okay, irrelevant, is it really necessary for let them go? Knowing like, okay, if then they predict already, then they tell you say no, this could be the result. Okay, family we don't get one ghost don't appear per winner, yeah. We not to no person Mr. Prince Crewman. So you are welcome.
Yes, Fambulem, I bring warm greetings to Una from the TNN TV Media Empire. And as I can see, are they up and about? But before I go any way forward, can I say, Sekou John, how extremely proud I am of you, how much heroic and patriotic you are, and how you do left for how you are lifting, this conversation in terms of equality and social justice na Sierra Leone. Within our precarious times, regardless of where you are with the party, and what we don't preach is equality, justice, unity, freedom, and justice. That's what we have been preaching here. You can make the accusation, say, well, opinionated view is subjective as to how the viewer or the listener hear. But what you mean no say we do now for embody the spirit of Sierra Leoneanism, not of meism, but weism. And no say now we talk about. So Sekou John, I'm extremely proud of you. And Fambulen, just for go into this quickly, I know say when I know they see me cleanly, but if una can see, are they up and about? But we can't neglect the conversation. The conversation must be heard, and it's very important. So I guess the topic today, now the release of the APC, how you call it,
Press
release.
release.
How you call it again, Sekou John?
Press release, no?
The APC press release, many thanks for that. I'm kind of excited because are they up and about? They talk to Sierra Leoneans from every walk of life for understand as to where we mindset is. This is why on Monday, we ask all of una for tuning because there's going to be a calling program. That calling program, they for let you resonate your view, whether you for or against, or you not necessarily get for be for or against. You can then at the middle ground, how you see the election, how was it conducted, how you see it, what is the way forward, Fambule Monday. That program they come right on this platform. There is about almost 1,000 of us live viewing this program. Multiply by 2 if we all shape, it become 2,000. Now let we look at the press release from the APC. Sekou John, the press release from the APC is what I've seen as the toughest so far. And having said the toughest so far, before Fambulen begin for misconstrue what they say, doesn't mean that I'm 100% supportive of it. But anything we support the national cohesion and security and embodiment of the nation, that is what I support. There are many questions around the elections results. This is very true, as exemplified and said by the international observers and international community. We in this platform, we don't make with you known as to outside the international community team up and waiting and they say. We know say Madabio has been declared the president. And some people find you're disgusting and not agree and etc. These are the views of the people and they're entitled to their views. We can try for scrutinize them and probably most likely critique as to waiting at the view of the people and why they hold that view day. So yes, the APC released the recent statement or press release where they say, and Fambulem, let me get this straight. This press release is scathing. I not see Sekou John in introduction, but probably I have no doubt that the brother is highly intelligent, that he will have dealt with it as such. But this press release is a scathing view of how the APC see this election. And as when I hear back again, the emphasis is mine, scathing view. And what is it? The APC not recognize the elected president. And in fact, the usual thing, where they go call it His Excellency and all the terminologies the way they around His Excellency. They say no, they call him Mr. Madabio. And in some cases, they not even put the Mr. They call him Madabio. And they take a central position. Inside this press release, they also say waiting they want for see happen. In other words, there should be a travel ban on the name leaders the way they expect for a travel ban for be put on or be placed on, i.e. the First Lady. And let me remember, the reason why they will call for a ban to be placed on the First Lady is the First Lady is a primary actor in the political dispensation of the country. She's politically active. I remember when some of us were critical of the First Lady, not out of hate or jealousy, as some Sierra Leonean and put up. No, this wasn't true. It was because the First Lady was proactive politically. Normally, the mama of the nation, now in can call for peace. Now in can use the husband and say, you know what, in, but you have Paddy man, let we slow down a little bit. Let we try for embrace all the other people there because we not get a part of Salone, we get all of Sierra Leone. And you want for rule over all of Sierra Leone. But no, this has not been the case, and we need for call a spade a spade. The president in wife has been equally divisive. We win a SLPP and win a Sierra Leonean, which means that there's no opposition to the SLPP. So therefore, that in itself is a divisive message. But let we say she was naive then, and that was the beginning. But compared to what they do now, we know say all of this is calculated for remain at power. So again, we go back to the APC, and I think say we title them aptly well, which is the APC spits fire. Fabulem. If we not think say this is not fire, I don't know how we go call this. This is really fire na APC spits so. This is what they expect. And the idea that they can go ahead and pronounce this, and if they watch by popular resort, say the international community largely condemn the election, and I go fall short for say the one that we think say the international community they can pull SLPP in power. This is not true. They are not going to remove SLPP from power on the basis of what we get now. Other than APC taking a stand as to what they take, but you no need for fall short of making a pronouncement as if they fail for take advantage of the conditions. I mean, take note of the conditions the way they make, i.e., travel ban, will not accept the results. Mother be on an illegal government, on an illegal president. He is not my president, as is beginning to be said. And nothing the international community can do about that for mass food down. That is not going anywhere. I have said this again, and I go say this again. But the idea, this is comforting to the people that we aggrieve, we think say, you know, yeah, the international community for take a stand, and they've taken a stand. But this is all on paper. We therefore understand the translation. Where position of this kind are taken, the translation is important. How do you translate that? And the way I translate it is, the APC look down mass something. They look down get the backing of the international community. Having got the backing of the international community does not in any shape, sense, or form mean say the election results will be reversed or there will be a rerun. I'm not saying these are impossibilities, but highly unlikely. I think say these are the fresh terminologies. But Sekou John, and listeners them, I want to say thank you to you very much for taking the platform to another level. Really, really proud of you. And Fambule, like I say, I'm out and about and I'm going to join the platform intermittently for give me notion, me observation, because even though they out, that information that they gather, are they in the mixture of friends and, you know, frenemies as well, waiting and they say. This is why we decide for hold a call-in program on Monday, Fambulem, on the 3rd of July. Not forget for tune in, and I sure say everybody gets a take. And even as we say, we know say the mayor of the country has been declared the winner as Akisoya. What does this mean in the present dispensation of the original results or the results in general? What do it mean? I go left this in Sekou, but these are points that we need for deliberate. But before I just go, let's remember something. We have only got one Sierra Leone, and this is being my point of, you know, appeal to Sierra Leoneans them. We may not agree, neither do I. I've got questions about the way the elections was conducted, about the way the results were read, about the actual results. I've got issues about that. It's been proclaimed. I condemn the activity. I don't feel say it reflects the broader view of the Sierra Leonean them. But we need to move forward. If nothing can be done for change that status quo day, and we don't want the country for light up, then maybe we need to have a dialogue moving forward. But that dialogue, they are equally understand, say, it's going to be difficult, very difficult, because we know, say, if Mada Bio done for the next 5 years, he's going to change the constitution as we've never seen it before, for Guillaume an undue advantage and the party an undue advantage. And let we watch for the cabinet we then get for announced soon. Will it involve some APC people then? Probably it will. Maybe not on a cabinet level, but on many other different levels. Because why? I say so, the APC continue to remain a divided party. Why do I say the APC continue for remain a divided party? It's because the pronouncement will hold the see publicly. Should we go to court? They not even get one voice on that. We see the former Attorney General, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Kamara. They say that the APC need for go to court. I do agree with that, and I've made my intention known on this, that we need for exhaust whatever advantage is there to us as a people, not as a party. I'm speaking in behalf of a country and a people. People that we feel disagree, and even the one that we agree, because we need for set a precedent that never again should such things happen. So
Yeah, but
therefore,
Prince, before you go further,
yeah, sure.
I've been not discuss this also, but now that you did like people in the CU live, Fambule Muna we they watch from Sierra Leone, Prince they na ide up and about na London, so na London una they see so live. Now, what are the chances? For example, how long you go feel say a case where APC go to na court, how long you feel say it go take them before then determine or then decide on like would I get right or would I get wrong na that case day?
I think you asked a very brilliant question, and as usual, I'm not known. And instead of somebody saying this for me, I might say it myself. I'm not known for sitting on the fence. I'm a highly opinionated person, but I can try for measure my opinion. So back to the question where you asked, Eko. To be honest, I think say the court, owing to historically speaking, on the basis of precedent, is normally owned by the government in power. And the government in power will always use the court for legitimize their opinion. And in this case, if a case of this kind will be taken to the court, which I believe say the government will welcome because it's something that they can easily manipulate, it's going to take a long time as long as it play to the advantage of the government. What do I mean by this? I take my case in a court. This case is supposed to play against the government, but the government has hijacked the court or state captured the court or judiciary a long time ago. So it's going to play to their advantage, but they are going to make it appear surreal, as if in a twilight zone, if you will like. It's real, it's not real, but they appear like say irreal. So when I take the case day, they can defer the case every 6 months, every 3 months, every 9 months. And in this case, the reason why I say this, Mother Bio has been given a 5-year mandate by pronouncement of the ECSL commissioner. We get the right for pronounce the leader of the winner of the elections just held in Sierra Leone. And he's pronounced Mother Bio as the winner. Yes, there are opposition to that result. So the opposition need for resort to the judicial process by taking the issue to court. And when they take it to court, who is responsible for the court? Who is the Chief Justice? The Chief Justice is responsible for apportioning case to the various courts then at the country. He is the man that sworn in the president of the republic. And you can see in all guy one remorse in his face while he will do the sworn in. He had a broad smile or a green in his face, which to me is indicative of somebody who was being happy as opposed to waiting them in the do. So yes, taking to the court Seku for address your question directly is something where we be welcomed by this government because to them it play as then they entertain the fact say a case can be lodged against them and they accept the case. The outcome now is important, which they can continue for defer as long as they stay in our office at defer for 9 months. After 9 months, we hear we defer for another 6 months. By then, the party in government will have been there for a year and a half or two until a 5-year term. That's how I see it, brother.
Yeah, okay. So, but with that now, you feel say it necessary for the person go court if that is the expectation of the outcome.
I think, say, again, this is another brilliant question and another brilliant one way.
Okay, Fambulem, that na being Prince Crewman. You wanna know say they na street, they up and about na London, but you don't go off. Maybe you go join me. Like I've been don't talk about this issue, for example, but again we dey ask am questions because for make we get in your perspective on the issue. Now, for example, like what in be they say, like in Billy say, okay, then for exhaust like the courts now country. But again, now like critic go ask, okay, how what are the chances of success?
Believe say una want make contribution. So
Oh,
beg una please, I apologize. Una forgive me for this. I know they in studio for receive the call. This is why it's good for let we get double number because I can't operate from the outside. But it's a very good question, Sekou John, that you ask. And this is what divides the nation. But again, because the question is directed at me, I feel say honestly that even though speculatively we may not think that we will receive justice, and when I say we, I'm not speaking in behalf of the All People's Congress before people then get them twisted. I'm speaking in behalf of millions of Sierra Leoneans who felt that they were cheated out of these election results. Not everybody will feel say they were cheated out of the election results are APC. There are a lot of people, even when come out inside the SLPP, who voted the other way. We need to understand this. It's not, yeah, like how would you call it? Like a two-way street that you appear only APC and SLPP. After all, there are other different people from different specs, different background, different take. But I equally believe, say, if we take this issue to the Supreme Court, what in this means, Sekou John, is we will have exhausted the process within, which is the only cause where APC can resort to now is for go through the judicial system, even though we speculate say they might not receive justice. But if they're not going to receive justice, and this is what probably, except you are extreme SLPP, believe say you're not going to receive justice, then of course you need for exhaust that means day. Because once you've exhausted that means, you can use that opportunity there and put it as part of your portfolio or your dossier where you don't create against a government who has gone across or against the ethos, the discipline, the tenets of democracy. Say, this is it. We've exhausted the process within. We've gone to the judiciary, the justice system, and even within that system, what we expect say this will be the last bastion of hope. It has not given us justice. It has not rendered us justice. And here is the proof. With all of the evidence that we forwarded, they've ruled against us. And here is it. And here we are as a people, as a nomadic tribe, as a people looking for justice on the outside because we can't get it from within. Can you help us, please? So, in the opinion again, if I can emphasize on that, the party need for go in behalf of millions of Sierra Leoneans, not only APC people, those that felt aggrieved. And let us not take and say, now because SLPP pronounced winner of the election and those that oppose are only APC. No, there are Sierra Leoneans who are neutral, completely neutral. We know that today, as we speak, the result of the mayoral candidacy has been read out. And Mayor Akisoya gets a narrow lead, or win narrowly 51%. How much difference does that make? And the party has taken a position by the position statement say they are not going to take part officially, they are not going to take part in any of the deliberation there are. But Sekou John, I think the party should take this to the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, make a representative, complain, and if they are deprived of justice on the basis of the evidence where they get, where they feel say largely they in their favor, then they should compile this and take them further, most likely to the international community.
okay, thank you so much. Again, lastly, before you go, because we'll not get much time again. Uh, what you feel say now? The like APC don't say they know they go na they know they take part in the governance of the country, like both in the local council and the legislature. What now you take on that?
Okay, again, Sekou John, another brilliant question. And I'm one way I really do appreciate. You see, these are the early moments of an election result in which the opposition disagree vehemently. And it's an outburst of emotion after all the trials and what have you. Doesn't mean that they're absolutely right, because after all, since a few days ago, reality don't begin to sink in. You get some people where they ask themselves within the party structure, have we really lost this? Or even if we haven't lost this, what do we do for make a difference? Because we also get for keep at the back of our minds that there is an obligation on we part, that we get hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people where they listen to us, or not only listen, but they look up to us for guardianship, for for channel them to the right cause, where they look up to we for leadership. And this is the dilemma in which the party catch themselves. So there is a division within the party. As a political and media observer, I they talk about myself, that there is a massive difference in this regard. Why do I say this? It's obvious for people and we also they watch. You not take rocket science. The bottom line is one side of the party they call say, well, you know waiting gonna cut, such as senior players such as the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, John Fitzgerald Kamara. He's saying, because why, he's legally minded. He's saying we need to go to court. I don't know what his reasons are. I can only, sort of guesstimate as to why he thinks as such. But that resonates with me, because legally speaking, if you miss out a point in a process within the country, the only cause you can go to for recourse or actions, we go try for justify or render you some sort of judicial process. Now the courts, yes, there are shortcomings on the court based on precedency. There might not be an outcome that you desire, but that does not mean that you don't go to the courts, because you need to prove the court itself wrong. That waiting we think about the court, who knows? The court might just, rule in favor of or for. So we don't know. But the bottom line is you have to go there. Back again to the question, and Fambulemuna, forgive me for the digression. This is what we do here, because after all, on the TNN TV media empire, knowledge is power. And that's what we try to do. For provide whatever we understand. We don't make the decisions, but you have to make the decision yourself. So the All People's Congress, as the biggest opposition party, then they're in a predicament. Damn if they do, damn if they don't. Marabio is already forming a government, and I believe that pretty soon a cabinet will be announced. And who knows, as a matter of surprise, that cabinet might be all-inclusive, in which there will be surprise elements. Potentially, there might be APC people the way people don't even expect that may form part of that cabinet. Because why? This is a political coup. This is not a military coup, as people want to describe Marabio. It may be a political coup in which Marabio they try for mend fences and send a message, say, well, here we are the party of liberalism, we are the party of inclusion, and this is what we are doing. We are extending an olive branch to the All People's Congress, who continue for remain belligerent, who continue for remain aggressive.
But Prince, what about now? Because we see, for example, what about if the SLPP go appoint people that were really na name no more na APC, but they are actually like always going against the party, then appoint them. So you could call that as inclusive.
Yeah, again, Sekou, man, come on. This is quite a brilliant, very, very brilliant question. Let's be honest about it. But does it really matter to the party? I mean, the winning party. The points that the party is trying to prove, this is what is very, very important. It doesn't matter about the names. After all, don't they have names like Victor Fo? Who was Victor Fo, Fambulem? I guess that we all know who Victor Fo was. He was the number 2 man in the All People's Congress government. And he is now neatly in the books of the SLPP. They also get Alpha Khan. Who was Alpha Khan? Alpha Khan was a senior operative of the All People's Congress. And not only stop at that, he was also a close confidant of the former president, the predecessor to Marabio, who happened to be Anas by Koroma. So the names doesn't really matter. We need to understand this within a political realm. All Marabio need for do, now forget 1 or 2 key names, and they might have this.
Critics go argue, say, why you forgot take disgruntled APC that you appoint, and then later you say This now for national cohesion. While of course then people and they not get anything for do with the party.
Well, this again another critical question where you ask. But is this matters because this not matter bio problem? No, Sekou John. This not a matter bio problem. Matter bio is trying to prove a point that me as a leader of the country, I am all inclusive. If you go find disgruntled voices them inside the APC, that's APC's problem. That's not SLPP or PAUPA's problem. All me want for do is for project to the Sierra Leonean people and the international community at large that I am an inclusive government. If I find somebody with disgruntled within the opposition party who are willing to work with me, Sekou John, let me juxtapose the position for a minute. If it were you, what would you do? Wouldn't you use that, here for justify your position, especially at a critical time that we find ourselves?
Yeah, but that they again go down to the honesty. Like, okay, are you really looking for honest national cohesion, or you just dey go find enemies between the opposition? Then you side one in order for scatter the opposition.
So this becomes, subjective. Really, really subjective. But this is what I will say, Sekou John. First of all, integrity or integrity, as some people call them, is not synonymous with politics. In politics, in other words, there is no integrity. All politics, Africa, Western, which man, is gutter. Politics is gutter. Now, how you play them. Waiting, they put me in the position for explain to me people and say I make overtures to the other that make me appear for say whether not hypocritically, because politics is full of hypocrisy. And like I say, there's no integrity in the politics. That's what the government now will seem to be doing, and potentially that's what they are going to be doing. It's not like trying to clean their image in a clean way. No, that's not their intention. Their intention, you can call them hypocritical, is for people to see them as extending an olive branch. I think, Samir, you talk this personally that by next week, because there are many deliberations going on, the result of the mayoral election, to me, if we go by what we don't know, it's not compromise, because the election was so bitterly fought, was so divisive, that the government get a daunting task in the hand for begin for make unity, for begin for unify a nation. Because Barack Obama once said this: you will decide for divide a nation just for fend you way into power, go have a hard time governing. And this is true of this government. So earlier on, if they were to take the mayoralty rather, which is something that they could have done if Mada Biomi want to do that. Let's be honest. If Mada Biomi want to do that, they would have done it. Disregard of whatever. But this result, to me, as a political and media observer, is an attempt for reach out to other people on the divisive side of the APC for get them on board. What we need for look at is for see whether Akisoya is going to take this opportunity, although the party don't take a position, say we are not going to take any official position inside this government, because if we do, we will be legitimizing the government. But we talked about this the other day, in which I expressed my view as to how I understand what legitimacy mean. The idea that there will be foreign governments, even though they decry Mother Bio in government, but there will be foreign governments in the sense that there will be embassies in Sierra Leone. As we speak, no embassy has pulled out. Never mind, they haven't congratulated the president yet, but they are still there. The point is, the idea that they are going to be doing business with the government of Sierra Leone with Mother Bio means that Mother Bio gets some degree of legitimacy. So you can call for sanction and embargo like the APC position paper called for. Let's sanction the flying or travel ban on the president in WEF, the Minister of Internal Affairs in deputy, and very key people. Of course, they can go and do that. The idea, Mr. John, does Mother Bio give a hoot? And I ask the question again, in 5 years, how many foreign dignitaries in person of presidency visited Sierra Leone where Mother Bio like kind of friendly with, we are friends? Mother Bio only care about the power. You can put a sanction on Mother Bio. Mother Bio will still survive as a government and expect the people them for rise up, because that's the idea about the sanction. But rising up, organizing a protest is completely different from a spontaneous one. We don't see spontaneous uprising by the people. Mother Bio quickly quell that out because why? We like for look am as Munku, and I don't mean not disrespect to the man. I just they use a local parlance, Munku, and what happened, he quelled that as quickly as possible in the absence of a sober organization. When are the only APC can do that for organized people, nothing, me brother, is going to happen. The international community can huff and puff, they can go up, then come down. Nothing is going to happen. They can hold on responsible. And then the idea that they still continue for support, I'm not to say they for pull out their complete support even down to the dying minute, and you can make a comparative analysis. The last time in Anas Kourouma's government, Anas Kourouma refused because they gave conditions which are considered to have been political suicide at the last minute, full subsidy, what have you. The international community then largely after their interest. If their interests are met, they will survive. And there's the bigger picture of geopolitics, Russia, America, and you name it. But that's for a different day. But that's not my position, Sekou John.
Okay, thank you very much. I think say we don't almost come to an end, and fumble them like we've been the discuss. We don't talk about the APC press release, and then we also talk about the possible reactions from the SLPP. But you don't hear it. We don't talk about the court because some SLPP them they say, okay, you know what, we not go court. So those are the reactions from the SLPP, and then again, but even though they not come out officially yet for talk about for react to the APC press release, but we don't see where discussion they go on social media, and then we as a media platform here, we just they talk about like you don't hear what Prince talk. For example, even he say where then announce Akisoya, even though na 1% or so he win with, these are all like okay for tell them say you know what, we still want for for encourage the one day we vex between the APC, and then you also talk about say okay, maybe the president will even say okay, you know what, I will include some of them wire the one day we go willing for work with me, that thing in the all the possible thing the way the government they do. So you get anything for say again before we leave?
Yeah, again, Sekou John, many thanks again for giving me the opportunity. Yes, I do have. So first of all, I want to commend Sierra Leoneans them for having conducted ourselves like a civilized people. We might have differences, but the idea is the common denominator where we get in our country. So even though we get political differences and other differences, the denominator is we country. There cannot be any two Sierra Leone. There's only one Sierra Leone. So if we lose what we currently get, that means we haven't got anything else. So despite we political difference, we need for find a way on how to go forward. That's why me on a personal basis, for which I got heavily criticized for, but that was a choice. It was a determined choice. I congratulated the president. Doesn't mean say I agree with the results as a whole. Will the result be reversed? Highly unlikely. Will there be a rerun? Highly unlikely. I'm not saying impossible, highly unlikely. But because we get for move forward, do we want to burn bridges or do we want to make bridges? It's on that basis they are commended the president. And gradually, this reality will begin for sink in. Despite these position statements, the way people in the pool, may not think say President Bio is going to be removed from power. But anyway, in the sense that we get over 1,500 live viewers, I want to use this opportunity for comment all the people that went tuning in tonight. Can you imagine 1,500 live viewers? This is a big deal. It's a big issue, which means that people are listening. And una comments then they are of value to us. Una continue for send una comments them. Also una they call from or watch from. And una feel free for show una comments, but let we do this respectfully. We are not going anywhere. Despite the accusation, the platform continue for remain open to Sierra Leoneans them of every stripe, every color, every background, every religion. You get an opinion, come and make it felt. And we say again, this Monday on the 3rd of July, not forget, this platform, they host a program in which we expect every Sierra Leonean for come and express their views, okay, as to how you feel about the elections. What is your take? This is really important. We need to have a national conversation. Let will not allow the politicians then for divide us up to so much to a point where me and you can't see eye to eye. Sekou John, once more, I want to say thank you very much. Sierra Leoneans, thank you very much. The TNN TV Media Empire, we love una to the depth of we heart. We go remain true to we ethos and we work ethics, which is about providing information so that decisions where Sierra Leoneans they make will be on an informed basis, not on a biased basis. Thank you so much, Sierra Leoneans. I salute una. I love una so much. Goodbye. As more as we get it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. That na be Prince Krumah, the CEO of Then and Now. Na him been just the making submission. So before they go, like again, I want to remind you, say Monday we get phone in program because a lot of una don't ask as to whether this program, in fact, will be do so, whether na a phone in program. And we dey invite you on Monday. Again, like before they go, like we don't hear it, we don't discuss the APC press release. Them be really use strong words. Them be really like firm. You they read, you they see the determination in the press release. Say they're not like ready for work with the government or with the SLPP as a government. They say they no go take part in the governance, like both local council and the parliament. So again, we now a matter of wait and see whether they go sustain that, whether that will continue, whether the party as a whole then go support the leadership, the one they will take that decision. We na a matter of wait and see because we already see okay we know the man already when Alfred Peter Conte, but in don't already tweet this evening tell say make them disregard that press release day. So you go ask yourself, Alfred Peter Conte is still get voice where they say make people and disregard the APC them press release. So you ask yourself, you ask in the Peter Conte that if he still get voice, if his voice still be heard, or would I go listen to that? So these are the things. So, but what we they say now, like the party, well, people in the watch and we they continue, we they watch what in they happen na salon. We not day in person, but we day na salon every day. We know what in they happen there on a daily basis. We sabi all waiting about 90% of things the way they happen na salon we know. So this platform, like we tell una, it open and then we dey continue for talk to stakeholders about national issues, about development back home na Sierra Leone. So Salone, now all yon, we all get right for discourse. We all get right for discourse. Okay, somebody they tell me say, I think Alassane Kuroma, they tell me say Alfred Peter Conte no get voice again. So well, it depends. I don't know, but I mean, I believe say the APC get a structure, then get a party. I believe say the press release go don't go through who side is supposed for go because now the Secretary General now inside. So anyway, but we no go deep into that. Now we dey wait and see waiting whether waiting they say the APC waiting APC say the meaner. So how long it will take? Because this now remember na 5 years. They were don't announce an ECSLC Mother Builder win. So that na a 5 year journey. So whether now they don't APC don't call say okay, they want for they rerun the elections in 6 months. So whether how that will be achieved. Now true which means the international community or how they get for do am, how they get for achieve this goal. If they not rerun for 6 months, wetin go happen? Which other step dey back wey the APC go take other than say, okay, we no dey go na parliament. So if una no go na parliament, una no take part na the local council, how that go affect Sierra Leone democracy? Of course, again, it go affect because it go look like say na a like one party state, only the ruling party dey. So that go send some kind negative picture to the international world, even though now some man say e no matter. Not to Europe, EU, they can't tell we waiting for do now country, or not to America. They say Salona is sovereign state. But you dey find out interesting sometimes, because the people that we get the tendency wey we disagree with them people, yeah, then donor countries, then wey dey help with money, or wey dey trust we. Then when we disagree on national issues, when they say no, but wetin una dey do so not nice, na the tell we can say, but they no get right for tell we wetin for do. Then begin tell you how na mental, wetin na slavery or something. But the point is, them people are now, we can go to them. In fact, now they will go say, okay, Usalo no bin get good name. Now they will go for rebrand the country, for attract investors. But these are the same people though. You dey go there, you go do all kinds of things, say they attract investors. But now wait and tell you, you go there back, you go sell your idea. I want do this, I get this, I want do this from people. Then they fund certain project, then they trust una money. But then, we then partly, or then even if not 10%, then they sponsor with elections, because we elections now mainly funded by the government. But the money they na certain aspect of the election, electoral management system, then put money inside there. So now, but these are the same people back una they turn back, say, but una not get right for talk, but the money they where they send money with the whole lot. So, but we person talk, una begin say no, una the spoil country name. No, but not we the spoil, we and una would the spoil the country name. Una where they go take money from them. So what we they try for, say, if una don't, of course, una this thing, una rely on Dewa heavily for fund lot of projects in the country. So again, if una, for example, 2018, for example, una be rely on Dewa, una call them moral guarantors, or what is self development partners, then they help for promote democratic voting self, then they help for promote democratic process in our country. Why, if they raise the issue of transparency, say this issue tabulation of voting self, they're not transparent, why una for vex? Una say they want interfere. So, but waiting wrong if everything is done like transparently? All man see kojuma koju. What's wrong with that? Why una the vex? Una they call say no, they no get right for can't talk. When anybody talk, like say question una get angry. Una use all sort of words. This is wrong. But we will continue for talking. But Fambulem, we really appreciate una over 1,000 some hundred viewers. We really appreciate una, and the one they always comment. Some man even use some kind unacceptable words, but I've been careful delete some comments them. We people they like Sierra Leoneans again. Now this have the talk. We can disagree. Una some of una they can at the platform una they attack each other. Una can disagree, but you know me say una for cause una self. This not now problem. We get for disagree in a respectable manner. We all not need forget the same views, the same opinion. You see, so I give you an example with parliament. Parliament, they no make am for only one party. So, like especially when we get a multi-party voting self democracy, where all political parties are supposed to be represented. So when they say, okay, if different political parties like are represented there, all man get your own views in party ideologies, then get them perception, them perspective on issues, different perspective. So then argue, then come together, then come to a logical and sensible decisions. But una have things if una don't begin cause each other, really nice. Really nice. So fumble them, but we like for thank now. We don't see lot of people and some man some man they watch. We live from Monrovia, so we really appreciate you now all. And then I just want to remind you, I say Monday we get phone in program. Monday we dey give una the opportunity una the call so that we discuss on national issues. Issues then they happen like today. You don't see a big day as well where they announce the result of the uh, of the parliamentary and councils. So somebody they talk, they watch me from New York, So yeah, these are the things. So make we learn for disagree in a respectable manner. We not need for cause, we not need for cause each other, we not need for fight. We are all Sierra Leoneans. Nobody no go tell you say in a Sierra Leonean than the other. So we have to understand that. So we all get different way wey they contribute to national development. But you no go contribute to national development by attacking the other person, insulting, then. So until then, na me Cycle John, they say tata.